Hi, everybody.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing great and welcome to all of you. It looks like AJ got into the feed first, all the way from Portugal. Phil, Olga, Marlene, Lizelle, Susan, Jasper. This is open to the public, so please share this link so as many people as possible can watch. Please like the stream so that more people can actually see it. This is fairly late at night. But in the past, I used to do live streams at 10 and even 11. And I got lots of people on that time of
Well,
night.
that's when I'm most likely to watch something on YouTube.
Is it? So, yeah, maybe that's why. So we'll see how it goes. We have 20 people in now. Welcome to all of you. I think the topic for tonight is something that many people have been asking about.
People are asking a lot, so we thought we'd just talk about it. It might have to be in two parts because there's so many parts.
Yeah, we're not going to tell people what to do or what to vote. I have no idea what I'm going to vote on for on the provincial ballot. But I know who did proclaim who he's going to vote for on the provincial ballot.
Yes.
Even although he's not on
the
the provincial ballot. I hope he meant regional.
I hope he meant regional, but if you go to the Real Network and watch their latest video, not the one with the other people.
Yeah, this is Gareth.
The one with Gareth. Towards the end, the last, I think 5 minutes, Jack, his co-host, actually says he's made up his mind. He researched OHM. He says he loves our policies. So that's really, really cool.
So an endorsement from someone, and it's going to be interesting in these elections because you now have 3 ballots. I think many people are going to split their vote strategically, and this is a good thing. It's a good thing for democracy, and that's why you keep on telling people or encouraging people to just go and vote. Things have literally changed.
They have.
And I think there's an excitement in the air because of this, because I don't think polls can predict how this actually pans out.
Not a fan of polls.
That's a good thing.
We won't elaborate on that private joke. Yes. Anyway,
let's talk about the Maverick article.
There's a Maverick. The Maverick article.
Daily Maverick, yes. Ferial Haffordji did an excellent article on OHM. And it's practically an endorsement. There's actually quite a lot of closet OHM fans.
Oh, so
not so closet.
On the Real Network, there was another live stream, which I thought the person was referring to, so I ended up watching it. Goodness, it was long. But in the middle, Dan Corder, is his surname?
Yeah.
Spoke about how he would favor direct elections. He didn't mention OHM specifically, but he said he'd prefer to directly elect his leader instead of voting for a party.
Yes, the message is getting out strongly, and I mean, if you see how many interviews you've been in now, people can't be missing it. I mean, they must be seeing it now.
That means the elections have been successful already.
Yeah, it's been a huge success spreading the information. So, yeah, the point where the mainstream cannot ignore OHM anymore is a major milestone. Absolutely. So I see Daily Maverick as mainstream media. So it's the first breakthrough.
There's still 7 days to go, so maybe there'll be another.
We'll see. We'll see. And what did you people think of what Ferial Haffordji said? I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. She is an independent journalist. So she says what she wants. And I was pleasantly surprised when Lauren actually sent me the PDF initially, but now it's actually on their website. So you can find it there.
That might be because of the demands of our enemies.
Yes. So there are people that told us, supporters, some of them supporters, that said that they had been asking, maybe badgering, the Daily Maverick and maybe many other publishing houses to actually say something about OHM. And for them to get an acclaimed journalist to do it, I think is really awesome.
It is.
And what you said was awesome.
Phil saying, can someone please teach her the difference between volts and ohms? It's okay, we'll forgive her for that.
I saw that. Yeah, it's fine.
Those who know will know.
Really. She actually went through a lot of effort to make OHM look good.
I love the wording she used.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes, I hope they specified we are on regional.
I think he meant regional.
Does anyone know what Jack's Twitter handle is? Because I'll just tweet him. Or do you call it Xing people now?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you still call it a tweet. But we're here to speak about
Other parties.
yes.
How counterintuitive. But here we are.
It's democracy.
It is.
Something I want to speak about. I received an email from someone that's been a supporter of ours for a long time that disagreed strongly with me on something. And I just want to say it's awesome that someone can disagree with us on something and still support the movement, which is a plan that we implement. And Lawrence said a while back in one of our live streams that you need to be able to compartmentalize things. And this is super important. What does is make people as free as possible to practice their religion, put a political system in place where you can vote for individuals that represent your beliefs. And that is really stunning. And I have said so many times, don't believe something because I believe it. That is pointless. You need to believe it for yourself. So I actually love the fact that someone would challenge you on something. There's nothing wrong with that. When people do that, firstly, they've made up their own mind and they might change their mind in future. And I might change my mind on things in future. I'm not perfect at all. And as I've said before, that facts is not reality. So whatever you perceive as a fact or truth will never be reality. We perceive things from our own perspective, and I can only give my perspective here. And in the past, when the channel was called 00 Days, it actually had a heading saying my perspective on history and the future, because that's all it is. It's not truth. And I spelled that out many times. So thanks to the people that can see past things that they strongly disagree on. It really shows strength for someone to be able to do that. I really appreciate that. Are you dumbfounded now?
I don't know what you just said. Anyway, let's begin.
That's fine.
Okay, so we got the 2024 provincial election sample list. How can I share it with everybody?
Well, go to the website and then give a link to, I don't know how many people are on phones, but you go to elections.org. That's what I do.
So what I would love for everyone to do is go to these parties' websites as we discuss them, please.
So, party funding, parties and candidates. Voting stations, parties, independents, contesting. There we go.
Really?
Yeah, national compensatory list of parties. Regional, provincial. There we go. View. So you click on view, there they all are. Link, copy, link, insert into stream. There we go. Paste.
Yeah.
There you go. So if you follow that link, you'll get a PDF popping up. And in there, you will see all the provinces with all the parties and independents contesting there. And you will not find on any of those.
Because we're not in provincial. That's why we're doing this video, because everyone's asking us, who should we vote for? Some people are suggesting not voting. And I say, asseblief, vote.
Yeah, we're asking people to please vote. Maybe you should mention what happened with regards to this.
Yeah, I got a request.
I think it's important that this is shared with people so people understand.
The South African Information Regulator, on behalf of...
Okay, My vote counts.
I'm trying not to use insults here. On behalf of a human being.
In an organization called My Vote Counts.
In an organization called My Vote Counts, has put a request forward to demand that we show our financial records to them in accordance to a whole bunch of stipulated laws, regulation this and regulation that. So firstly, the minute I see legal speak, I don't even read the thing. I just scan for keywords. I refuse. So I emailed the Oak and said, yo,
yo, bro.
I said, I'm really busy. It's election time. We only have volunteers. Email is way down my priority list. Please send me your request in English.
Not legal speak.
Which he did, thankfully. So this is something I learned a long time ago. I can't remember who told me or where I read it. But whenever you're served some legal notice, you have every right to ask for an English translation because it's not English. something else. It's like Latin, which I believe is Satan's language, but that's another topic for another discussion. But anyway, so luckily we have on our NEC a gorgeous, amazing woman who is studying, and she's completing her thesis this year. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the title of her thesis, so I won't, but it's got to do with political corruption. And I hope to see her as a public protector one day. She's phenomenal. But anyway, luckily I have her to ask. So she just confirmed what I understood, that because we haven't exceeded the threshold, we have no, according to the PIA Act, we have no obligation to have any records.
So parties, if anyone has donated, any individual organization has donated over 100,000 rand, and that was only applicable until Cyril actually changed that last week. So it's not applicable anymore, by the way. But if you that 100,000 rand now needs to be restipulated, and Parliament is actually pushing that over. So
I want to see something quickly. Continue explaining.
So that's not relevant anymore. But if your party has received a donation of over 100,000 rand from an individual or an organization, you're supposed to keep that on record. That can be viewed at your party headquarters, which OM hasn't got because OM isn't funded by taxpayers' money, etc. In business hours, okay? Or you can put it on your electronic website, which is absolutely ridiculous because obviously if it's so on your website or at your offices, so someone can come there and actually look at the records. So that is a requirement. Naomi has never received a donation of that size.
No, we have not.
I'm sure you would have jumped up and down, and
everyone would have known.
known about it.
Absolutely.
If that was the case. So because that hasn't happened, there is no requirement to disclose anything.
No.
The next requirement is our IEC requirement. So the IEC requires OM to be audited annually. And OM has done the audits.
As long as you don't meet the threshold thingy, then you get audited annually, not quarterly.
Annually, correct. So OM gets audited annually, and you have to pay money, and it's a pain and all sorts of things. But OM has complied with all of that.
We pay 8,000 rand a pop.
Yeah. So people have been fined for not complying.
Fined for not complying.
Yes. Remember, what was it, like between 15,000 and 40,000 rand or something like that?
Oh,
which to me, the ANC was one of them, is not a very high fine.
If you can go print yourself one of these, and you can cross them off as we go along.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yes.
It's like hundreds.
We'll start with the Western Cape, and then some of them cross over. So
we might have a part 2 and 3.
Part 2
Why
for
not?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now I'm missing a pen. Have you got a pen in the vicinity?
A pen? I can run and fetch one. I have one on my desk upstairs.
I have one on my desk downstairs. I can quickly go get a pen. But we can start with Action SA.
I think you should start, and I'll
get a pen. Yes,
I'll go get a pen.
Everybody, have you got this open? This is very important. We need to realize who we are voting for provincially, because not voting is not an option. Provincial government's absolutely useless. So instead of the same people benefiting with their fancy cars and big salaries and all the rest, let someone else get a piece of the pie until the system is dismantled. So, number 1, on the Western Cape. I'm starting with the Western Cape because I'm biased because I live here. And that's just what I started researching. So, I actually know who I'm voting for. I don't know if Des knows who he's voting for. I might have a change of mind, but I'm pretty convinced. Action SA. So, 5 points to anyone in the comments to mention who funds Action SA. Sky Phoenix, brilliant idea. But they need to be a good pen. I'm so fussy with pens. I like a 0.5 thinness. Oh, no one's saying anything in the comments. Okay, no one gets points then. So Action SA is off the cards because they are funded by those that fund the current people in power.
That's my birthday pen that you bought me.
I bought you a pen for your birthday.
Yes, it's an awesome gift.
So the elites, the Oppenheimers, thank you, Arnu, Serfontein, and AJ. 5 points to each of them. So Action SA is off.
We're scoring points here.
Good evening, Lauren Days, and everyone. My provincial vote. Close my eyes and take 3 turns. I'd love to see that.
I would love to hear after the elections what what people actually ended up doing, not who they voted for, but how they came up
Okay,
with
so
the decision.
African Restoration Alliance, they're on my tabs. We're going to be discussing them. ACDP, Neski. Okay, so who are they funded by? I actually haven't looked at who they're funded by, but I won't because
They did get some money from the clan, but not a lot.
you're welcome to not scratch them off. I'm not voting for them because they promote the death penalty last time I checked.
I'm not sure what their stance is on
Can't
that
remember.
right now, but to me, you should not be representing a religion in
I agree with that
any
as well.
form of legislation.
Keep it
That's
separate.
just me.
African Independent Congress also have their
Because
thing
it
up.
separates people. Remember my 10-question challenge. You came up with a lot of the questions. Anyone that's divisive in any way.
I agree.
Yeah.
African Transformation Movement.
ATM. Death penalty.
Yeah, so it's a no. Well, some of you might consider it but they're currently in Parliament.
But
I don't want to.
For us, it's a.
I don't want to vote for anyone in Parliament again. African National Congress. Sorry, before we move on from there, obviously we know who funds them. We know their track record. So you can cross off ANC as well. Al Jamar, religious, just like the ACDP. So bye. Alliance of Citizens for Change, we'll be discussing. Allied Movement for Change, we'll be discussing. Arise. No.
Fourth Industrial Revolution.
And Azania Peaceful Revolution, we'll be discussing. Bosa, bye. Sorry. I worked so well with one of his team members who's not so much in the public forum. And it's sad. But hey, we know the origins of their funding, so it's no. Congress of the People is just on a downward spiral, and it's impossible to turn that around. Because Terra Lacorte went directly against the ANC, the ANC came back and exerted a strategy he could not fight.
I mean, they got a massive amounts of seats the first time. I actually, the other day, went back on the national elections all the way to 1994 to actually see who was there.
Mm-hmm.
It was quite interesting.
They got a lot of seats.
Yeah.
That was actually hopeful.
When they moved out, it was massive. Sure.
It was very hopeful. It's very sad what happened there. Democratic Alliance is an obvious no. EFF is an obvious no. Good is an obvious no. IFP is an obvious no. I think the IFP is far more dangerous and sinister than ANC.
Oh, they're getting Oppenheimer funding now, big time.
For me, land parties are no because they are outright communists. I don't know if anyone here, if you support communism, you have the freedom to do so. Land party, you might not want to scratch out then.
Why would anyone support communism on here?
Who knows? National Color Congress, Operation Tujula. So we'll go through this. Pan-African Congress of Azania, Patriotic Alliance. Those are all new people. People's Movement for Change is new. Referendum Parties new. Rise and Zansi is new, but we'll cross them out because we know where they get their funding. Do you want to cover that quickly?
The Rise and Zansi.
Rise? Bosa?
Yeah, Oppenheimer.
Actually,
all Oppenheimer funding. It's open for all of you to see. I'm sure all of you have researched.
You can go and look at that.
You will see all the parties that's on News 24. In other words, Naspers' manifesto tab are the people. They don't care who you actually vote for because all of them are controlled. Okay?
Guys, you should probably go get some snacks and some tea because we're going to be here a while. So you got MK, UDM by because they've done nothing. What have they done tangibly? Freedom Front Plus also by. Some of you might disagree with that. Why would you not disagree with that? By Freedom Front.
I wouldn't count the Freedom Front Plus out. I voted for them in the past long time ago in the local government election because they really had a stunning local council.
How are we married?
Hey?
How are we married?
That was, I think, before they were a plus. I knew the person. Okay. And the other options were shocking.
That's shocking.
In Melkbos-Strand, yeah.
Shame, Ben. You knew the councillor.
I knew the councillor,
yeah. Okay, let's start with ARA. Oh, sorry, Jean. Okay, so we've crossed off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
Which
15,
province
16.
are we in now? Western Cape.
Yeah, we've crossed off 16. So you can go cross off those same ones everywhere else, but some of you might keep 1 or 2. So I just went fast, Jean, so we can get to the actual analysis part. ARA. So I remember seeing ARA pretty much when OHM started.
Jean Dixon, slower, please.
Yes. So I'm not sure if they're older than OHM or the same age as OHM, But I saw their growth. I also saw them in by-elections with 1 or 2 posters, no gazebos or anything. So I find
Is there a sentimental attachment?
It's a sentimental because we both hailed from Kale's River with our by-elections and all the rest.
Yeah, no big funding from the ground up. So were they a breakaway of anything?
Not that I know of. No, not that I know of. So this is the one criticism I have. The website hasn't got enough information for me to make up my mind. But there's one issue that makes me say no, and that's it. So I don't know. Who's the leader of ARA? Again,
it's a lady.
Leader of
as far
ARA.
As I know, yeah, I saw in the thumbnail for.
I think you're thinking of Sarah.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
It is possible, sorry.
Oh, no. Okay, the breakaway of the ACDP.
Yeah, very much the same as... Okay.
Cited bribery and corruption in his former party as the reason for leaving. Okay, so you're going to get Christian values with ARA, which some of you might love, the fact that they come from that heritage. They're the pink party, so you can't miss them.
The posters are very prominent.
For them, their non-negotiables are access to superior healthcare and service delivery. This is like a wish list. This is like writing to Santa. A lot of parties do this. Lower electricity bills, taxi protection program, 50,000 to 150,000 new jobs per province per year. That's where, for me, it starts to fall apart because I don't believe a political party can say or guarantee jobs.
No.
You can say, I'm going to try and improve the economy through XYZ so that there's a stronger likelihood of more jobs. But you can't say
more jobs. You can't promise jobs. I mean, Musi, a job in every home. No political party can.
Okay, so yes, their 10-point ideology, and number 6 made me say no. That's just me. South Africa first, makes sense. Number 2, radical restorative process of this country. What does it even mean? Radical violent, radical creative and imaginative. I'm not sure which radical. 3, a wealth city concept. In opposition to smart cities, in alignment to smart cities, I don't know.
It could be an alignment.
Number 4, free market capitalist. Every family a house. Love the sentiment because we also say the start of wealth building is with land ownership.
Yeah, but that's a house, not land. It's different.
Number 6.
Limit import and export.
And that just falls out of the bus for me. We need to grow this economy. And even though I'm against UN involvement and America's involvement in our policy making, I do believe we need to strengthen international relations in a way
and not be beggars at the table.
No, in a way that strengthens South African people. Denounce liberal radicalism. Okay, that must be the Christian values coming in. So they'll probably, I'm speaking on behalf of them now, denounce things like CSE, we hope. They promote number 8, a national bank. 9, restore patriotism. And 10, protect Khoi, farmers, and jobs. It doesn't get much more detail than this. But for me personally, I'm crossing them off because of number 6. You can put a little spot next to them if you want to, if number 6 doesn't bother you. Your choice. So that's ARA. Done. They also say we are businessmen and women heavily invested in communities. We keep our word. We are not politicians. Our ideologies are practical. Okay. That's it. There really isn't other information on their website, which I find is sad. I would have liked to have at least seen the face of the leader. You know, is he young? Is he old? What's the story?
I've seen his face on posters up at Tiger Valley. Your poster was ripped off.
That happens. Okay, I'm jumping the gun here based on my tabs. Let's jump to number 11. Azania People's Movement. What? Sorry. Azania Peaceful Revolution. Lana says, if you can't answer some of the Christmas promises, how must the man in the street understand it? 100%. I know, it's hard. So Azania Peaceful Revolution, equally, if not more vague than the previous one. I mean, I know Azania from Reino de Beer promoting the leader of this party, who is Ricardo Marman, and at least he is on the website with a bio. He holds a BA in politics, philosophy, and economics, a degree from UNISA, and a master's degree in international relations, which is pretty cool. I'd like to see those skills used. He was a strong and lone voice against the tyranny of lockdown. So we
Yeah,
know,
definitely. Yeah.
we know he's not going to lock you down.
Yes,
Okay.
that is a biggie for me.
He says, Marman will not rest until our nation is free and independent.
Show us the virus. I remember that.
Yeah, until
Yeah.
our economy is returned to the people, until justice is done. So I like the fact that he's not going to just slip us into a lockdown if that has to come. So he
I
can
think
get
he's
a dot.
also against international agencies telling us what to do. So I think I'll definitely consider him now that you've gone through it.
He's a consideration, although my absolute
How many
criticism,
provinces is he in?
I don't know.
It's expensive to contest all the provinces.
He's in Eastern Cape.
Okay.
He's in Gauteng. Gauteng, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And Western Cape. So 3 provinces. So my only criticism is that it's extremely, extremely vague, but he describes his emblem. So with his emblem, you can get a bit of the philosophy. A symbol, the lion's head is a symbol of the pursuit of our national independence and sovereignty. Yes, awesome. Map of South Africa for our territorial integrity. So he seems very much aligned with Ohm on national sovereignty. Yellow, color of hope and renewal. Red, symbol for vitality and resistance to oppression. And white symbolizes peace and renewal. So that gets a dot from me, definitely. I just don't see any. So I'll have to go onto YouTube and other things to see tangible.
Maybe we can interview
plans.
him.
After this
Provincial,
process,
yeah.
absolutely, let's do that. We haven't got a lot of time. Okay, so there is a manifesto. Let's see how long it is. You guys can go read his manifesto.
Maybe
I'm going to give the link.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to log into our chat. It's a 6-page manifesto, thank goodness.
Yeah, it's not that long. And South African Reserve Bank predatory lending, rand manipulation and usury in the real state capture, Oppenheimer, cabal. Wow, I think he's going to get many ticks. Declare
lockdown as a crime against humanity. Stop the exports of our mineral resources. Paid mandatory national military service for the youth. I have boys. I'm going to be hesitant there. Prosecute farm murderers, I think he means. Reverse Ramaphosa's sale of SOE, so he's not into privatization. Declare load shedding as sabotage.
Yeah, you can absolutely call
it mass deportation of illegal immigrants. Break up private monopoly companies. Place all dysfunctional municipalities under administration. Okay.
It's quite extreme, but I think someone like that in a provincial parliament can really shake things up.
Definitely.
To me, freedom is my number one consideration when voting for somebody.
This is where it falls apart for me personally. Okay, no, yeah, he's with us with Ohm.
Exit the UN.
No, exit the UN is with Ohm there. Bring back the death penalty. So he's a no for me. I'm scratching him off, but some of you like the death penalty, so
he can't just implement it. So I'm not too bothered with that at this stage from a legislation point of view, because he's not going to win the majority to do it. Our constitution doesn't allow it.
Our constitution.
I wrote essays on it as a young boy. I have such.
You don't want to be the wrong place at the wrong time.
But remember, this is strategic.
I know.
This is strategic.
I'll keep the dot.
At this stage, out of the lot you've mentioned,
the best.
Yes.
End all racial classification. Absolutely, 100%. Exit the UN. There's more diplomatic ways to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to exit the UN to show them a middle finger. No. Okay. There's many things you can do in a more diplomatic way. It's not radical.
The one thing I want to state is that you don't want to make decisions as a president that's going to make South Africa enemy number 1. So you need that correct leadership to handle these things diplomatically until you're in a position of strength. So you don't want someone to go crazy the minute they voted in.
No.
But he's on the right track in those terms. Referendum for a new constitution? Absolutely. Ban all vaccines and GMOs? I would not ban all vaccines. What if someone gets rabies? No. GMOs, 100% on board with that with him. Cut diplomatic relations and impose sanctions against the apartheid state of Israel. And they scrap same-sex marriage, child sex education, etc. How can you put that in the same box?
No, the two have nothing to do with each other. That's unacceptable.
I know I get this question a lot. I'm going to cover it tomorrow on the own Facebook groups. I would never scrap same-sex marriage because people are free to love whoever they want to. But
whether you agree with it or not.
Yeah, whether you agree with it. Do you believe in liberty or do you don't? If you want the liberty to be a Christian, you need to just respect the liberty of other people, not to follow your footsteps.
And protect that freedom.
That's why I say so many people actually don't want freedom. They want some kind of...
The best thing to do is have a constitution that's family-centered.
Yeah.
And that is what is proposing.
Imagine ripping couples apart because they don't fit your idea.
Yeah, other people can do the same.
Religion.
No, people have never put themselves on the other side of the coin. So
it's not fair. Place all dysfunctional municipalities under administration. Okay, so they get a lot of ticks, but there's definitely red flags for me. But for you guys, that
I think you're going to find that everywhere.
Obviously.
Remember, we have to try and...
So it's about the amount. So I'm putting 3 dots because there were 3 things that stood out to me as issues. So then we can do a little tally. My issues aren't going to be the same as your issues at all. But there's definitely issues. Oh, wait, no, 4 dots, sorry. Let's see what's next. I'm trying to get through this relatively quickly. I didn't give everyone the link. So let me first give you the link before we move on.
Okay, we have a couple left.
Put
the volume off immediately.
Yes, it's confusing. For Western Cape, we have a couple left. There we go. So there is their manifesto. Let's see what's next.
We look different on your screen.
I know. Okay, national colored... So my tabs are not in alphabetical order. Should I try do it in alphabetical order?
Yes,
no, it's fine. I want to do it in A's. I want to get the A's over with. Oh, goodness. So the Allied Movement for Change, they don't actually have a website, which I find strange. 2,400 followers.
On Facebook? The amount of followers really doesn't matter to me. It's about principle. People shouldn't vote because someone is popular. That is the daftest thing ever.
So I couldn't find actual material on what they stand for. If you guys can, let me know.
Is stupidity a genetic condition for Umdoni management?
So what I want you to say, this party is clearly a party of one, in the sense that he probably runs it like me. There's a leader and then there's members.
Listen, they had to pay whatever money. Are they only contesting in provincial?
Agree with Peter. There's a difference between banning certain things and propagating them.
Yes.
His manifesto said ban. Yeah. That's extreme.
That is a good point to make.
That's a beautiful point. Yeah. What is the current stance on abortion? He did not specify. Sounds proactive in the right direction. I'd say so, but with 4 red flags.
On LGBTQ, he wants to, at the same time that he wants to ban CSE, which Lauren fought against because it's indoctrination of children, he wants to ban gay marriage. He doesn't say anything about transgenderism.
Someone saying, Jean say, no lockdowns, no medical advice, anti-bailable, no pushing a particular religion. Those are my priorities. Let us know in the comments if you feel like sharing what your priorities are. Okay, he also says we shall ban the public display and promotion of homosexuality or the LGBTQ movement. We shall scrap all laws and policies that promote sexual immorality, perversion, and immodesty.
But that's judging
law and
life.
Sex do not go hand in hand. No, sorry.
That's...
No. But anyway, I think that's just experience and maturity.
No, that's how he feels. I mean, he wants to... Ricardo Marman is someone that could run on his own as an independent in future.
100%.
He's tried to build a profile for himself. I think he had a YouTube channel, but he's been interviewed a lot. He's been in court cases, etc., and has made a villain of himself in courts because he famously did show us the virus court case. He wanted the virus shown to him. So, yeah.
Allied Movement for Change, like I said, there's not a wiki for them or anything. It's a leader. He seems to nitpick about certain local issues
So it's
that he's
difficult to
experiencing.
see.
So it's really hard to comment. And because of that,
Isn't there something there? There was a statement thing.
I think it's an article he wrote, Why Must Ratepayers Suffer? So he's doing like opinion pieces. I'm going to share the link. You can have a look. For me, it was too vague. And because of that vagueness, it's going bye-bye.
It's
Sorry.
interesting that some people actually said that OM is so specific and not generalized in the manifesto that they can actually trust that OM knows what they're trying to do. But there isn't many people that's picked up on that. They want specifics from new parties, but the older parties can be as vague as possible and no one questions it.
Okay, so Nella says banning vaccines might mean banning enforcement of them. Agree with you. No one should be forced.
No, it says ban all vaccines and GMOs. Very straightforward.
Yeah. He says there's been sharp increase in autism and other diseases because of vaccines, other toxic drugs, and genetically modified organisms. I wouldn't put them in the same box. Currently being used in SA.
We shall stop all vaccinations and prohibit all GMOs in South Africa.
So,
yeah.
Nope. Allied Movement for Change. Unfortunately, I wish I knew more. I wish there was more, but there's not. So I'm going to close that tab now. Put the link to his Facebook page. If anyone can do some more digging and find out more about him, let me know. Maybe there's a hidden gem there. I don't know. African Independent Congress, they actually are represented in Parliament. I was just curious as to who they are.
Aren't they the people that got the one before Al Jamar with 32,000 votes? The seat?
I'm not sure.
I can check quickly.
Can you?
Yeah.
They have 2 members, so you might be right.
Oh no, then they weren't even there. Then they did much better.
PAC got 1.
Yeah, maybe
the AIC was founded in 2005 as a protest against the location of an area within the boundaries of the Eastern Cape province rather than KwaZulu-Natal. So they disputed this boundary
the
change.
AIC actually beat COPE. They got 48,000 votes. So they're not small. Then you had COPE with 47,000 votes, PAC with 32,000. So you're right, the PAC got that 1 seat. Then Al Jamar with 31,000 votes got the last seat. And Al Jamar's been there many times before. In the past and just didn't make it, got into the 20,000s. Now they finally made it. And they might actually increase in size this time. I just don't know if the vote will be sufficient to get a seat. With the new calculations, we'll all find out in 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the other parties.
So I don't even know what's happening with AIC. There's no material on their manifestos. They seem to be a single issue party because of that one thing. Yes, their Facebook page, maybe that offers more clarity.
But they have 2 seats.
They have 2
in
seats.
Parliament, yeah. That's quite an achievement. So what do they stand for?
It's very hard to say. There's nothing.
Not even a website. Well, they must have strong support on the ground then.
Yeah.
I mean, to get 48,000 or what was it, 47,000 votes, it's not a joke.
There's no website. So what you can do is try and contact these people individually that are vague and then ask them specific things. But because they're so vague, it's just going to be an immediate no, because who has time to dig? If it's not on the website or Facebook, then sorry.
It's almost like they already have their supporters. They're not interested in the rest. Strange.
Now
maybe they have very good ground support, ground structures in certain areas.
Next is...
They only have 492 followers on Facebook.
Yeah, so they obviously
How did they get a seat? 2 seats. They must have some serious organization, eh?
Next is Alliance of Citizens for Change.
There we go.
Oh, did I do that one? No, I didn't.
That
guy. Okay, his main campaign is death penalty for murderers, social justice now.
Bye-bye.
I think he was with the DA as well, if I remember correctly. He has his biography. Masizole a man of resilience and conviction, has emerged as a beacon of change and please cue the music. Unflinching commitment to progress in South African politics. Born and raised in the humble village of Nkadu in the former Transkei, Massey's journey from a young boy tending to livestock to a prominent political figure is one that exemplifies the transformative power of education, family, and unwavering determination. From an early age, Massey learned the importance of hard work and responsibility as he balanced his studies with his duties for caring for his uncle's livestock. Cool. Okay, this is long.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Maybe just put that up there, but I mean, death penalty. Ka-chunk.
For us, it's a no. For you, it might be yes.
Yeah, you might be happy with the death penalty.
Besides death penalty, I don't know what else he stands for. Values and principles. Oh, they have values and principles. Nice.
That's nice.
Universal human rights, and there's a video where he speaks about it. Constitutional democracy, inclusivity, accountability, fairness, integrity, and ethical leadership. So go watch his videos to try to figure out his interpretation, because values and principles are interpretations.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by constitutional democracy.
I don't know.
Most people believe in a constitutional democracy. We just believe there's a problem with our constitution.
The Bill of Rights protects every citizen. Amongst these rights are the rights to freedom, equality, and human dignity, the right to free speech, the right to fair labor practices, and the right to vote in elections. So that's what he has as an intro, and then he has a video. But I didn't even watch his videos because for me he's crossed off because of the one single issue.
Our vision and mission statement, our values.
Yeah, vague stuff. I don't see a manifesto. There's a pledge. I don't think it's specific to elections.
Access equity, though. Well, it's probably like the manifesto.
Yeah. So, sorry.
We are inspired by the ideals of social liberal democracy. That's basically DA. That's the first place I heard the term social democrats, because that's what a lot of the MPs call themselves.
Underpinned by unsurpassed commitment to social justice and universal human rights, rooted in improving the lives of all persons with deliberate focus on marginalized groups who suffer, unending aggression on the basis of race, ethnicity, nationality, gender, sexual orientation, age, religion, and disability. So that sounds, it's a lot of political speak. I don't know where it translates into here's a plan, here's a policy, here's a something. We believe that access to resources is a fundamental principle of social justice. Unfortunately, in many areas of our society, communities have had different levels of access based on factors such as history.
I could hear Cyril saying exactly the same
100%.
thing. That's the problem.
Stock standard political speak. So that's up to you. How can Constitution affirm both the right to life and the death penalty? Impossible.
Yeah,
100%.
Exactly. Okay, next.
Triple X is the George and Bill Gates type. I'm not sure who Triple X. Oh, what? Who's Triple X?
Oh, that's from Colleen. He speaks of Triple X.
Oh, yes. That is why AIC got so many votes. People mistook them for the ANC. So much so that at the Code of Conduct signing, they decided like where ANC and IEC were not going to be put together. Like on the ballot in alphabetical order, because they're so similar.
The logo,
that's I'm not sure the logo, but the name.
So they reckon they got 2 seats just because of that.
100% yes.
Wow.
So AJ, you're correct.
That's quite something.
They actually discussed this at the Code of Conduct signing. I don't know if I've missed any important comments there. So for me, ACC goes because of the socialist, aka communist undercurrents, because of the political speak, and mostly because of the death penalty. I know most people probably don't feel the same with that part. AIC is bye-bye, right? Yeah. Yeah, see, it's also yellow, green, and black. AIC is also yellow, green, and black. So that is the issue.
So with that logo, shouldn't be confused, man.
Eyesight issues, a whole bunch of other things, eh?
It's possible, I suppose.
So who have we got left? Azania Peaceful Revolution we discussed. Now we can go to NCC. Now we're back in the alphabetical order. National Colored Congress. So immediately red flags go up, but I also understand it. it's a minority issue. It's a minority cause. So he's only existing to further a specific group of people based on race specifically, which is in direct opposition to my values. But at the same time, I have to sympathize with feeling completely left out. You're not one color nor the other. You're ignored and unbenefited from the system.
Yeah, they should be excluded because they are exclusive,
Mm,
not inclusive.
not inclusive.
Yeah.
So I just want you to cover some of the things. They will strive to address poverty. Now, to me, that is slightly more honest language than 50,000 jobs per province. You know, it's a little bit more honest, and I respect that. To address food security within communities.
You've met and spoken to Fadil, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you read the food security, you can see there's a lot of community groundwork happening to address inequalities within in communities.
But maybe someone like them, based on the past problems within the province specifically, I might actually consider.
I also didn't throw them away immediately because of the.
I believe Fadil is sincere, but I need to look at all the other things he believes in.
He also doesn't look like someone that's going to make a decision that's going to destroy the economy.
No, the community will hang him if he messes things up for them.
By improving access to roads.
He doesn't have to do this.
Okay, Shark. If you become president, will you support which one, West or East power? I will support African power.
South Africa.
By improving access to roads, communications, and markets, and opening opportunities for marginalized groups, by ensuring participation in decision-making, including the establishing of paid monitoring and evaluating committees to provide results and impact of social policies within the communities. But this is going to be someone or a party that's always going to be speaking for the most vulnerable. And that I can get behind.
Yeah, listen, firstly, doesn't support any other country. Hasn't got policies on that. So when you elect people within the system that is creating, you need to ask those people who they support, the West or the East or whatever. And then they can tell you. And then you can vote for them.
To address employment equity in the workplace by providing businesses with measures and opportunities to develop, empower, enable, and recruit the large amount of unemployed people within their direct communities. Okay, so by decentralization of public services. So I think what he means, like if a spa opens up in this suburb, employ people from that community.
I totally agree with that. I think that should be in policy if they are capable people. I think there's a huge problem. I remember, and I just want to mention something that happened at Koeberg Nuclear Power Station. The government literally said that the workforce at Koeberg needed to represent the workforce in the country.
Yeah.
And that's nonsense. Koeberg is in the Western Cape.
I understand that though, because it's also a national entity, but I'm not going to go into that debate.
Yeah.
To eradicate the scourge of gangsters and drugs. So if someone has the answer to gangsterism, please call me. By increasing the amount of effective rehab facilities. Okay, effective rehab facilities, 3 very loaded words. Because the rehab facilities that are currently there are not working at all. I met someone actually that said that they do have an answer to help people get off drugs that is nothing like what we see conventionally. So I would love to explore alternative therapies. I don't know about him though. Within the marginalized communities and stamping out corruption within the police, courts, and prison services. But those are lofty ideals. How? See, with OM, we've only stayed within the bounds of the how. We haven't really declared promises outside of that.
Yeah, because you can't, because OM is changing the system.
Yeah.
And then individuals will run on specific things.
Yeah. But how do you stamp out corruption? I need these answers. Like, what are some of your suggestions is what I need to know. By creating viable options to those who choose gangsterism as a form of being part of safety and security.
Well, creating the system that only is creating you.
And he's talking about improving the police. I can get behind improving the police and how they function.
You resolve issues like that. through a new political system.
To move our people out of backyards and onto land of their own, I can get behind that as well, by ensuring fraud and corruption is eradicated and that plans already in place or implemented with the recovered and future funds available in the fiscus. And I know some of the issues around certain communities where the government is providing housing, and then the difficulty of who moves into that housing isn't always who was supposed to move into that housing. So I suppose that's what they're referring to. To impose local demographics in all spheres of life. Demographics are a key part
of... can I just say, this is not an OM live stream. Okay, this is not an OM live stream.
We are discussing who to vote on the provincial ballot because OM is not on the provincial ballot.
This is beyond politics.
And I'm speaking as Lauren, wife, mother, and human.
Yes.
Fellow sojourner on this earth. I'm not speaking on behalf of
This
OM.
is all, understand that. You are welcome to disagree.
Yep. And I understand it's risky for me to voice my opinion, but I mean, I'm not going to live in fear of judgment, whatever. If you're not mature enough to separate me, the person, from me, the leader of an organization, then shame. To impose local demographics in all spheres of life. I'm not sure where he's going with this. Demographics are a key part of small business marketing strategy as they help business identify the individual members of the audience by certain characteristics, wants, and needs. This applies to life itself and the needs of the specific people in specific communities. We may have integration in provinces, but we still do not have integration in regions. Interesting, because that's alleging to some form of kind of BEE type control.
Yeah, I wonder who he's trying to actually get together within his party structures to actually come up with ideas. But it's quite possible that he's managed to put some people together that are actually coming up with solutions.
So here's the policies. I'm going to share this. It's weird stuff. There it is. Where was I now? I have way too many tabs open, people. Branch executive meeting policy, conflict management policy, immoral conduct or indecency policy. I think this is within the organization, sorry.
Someone is asking if Hope for SA is there.
No, they're not actually. They're not on province either.
On none of them?
No, they are on Northern Cape. They're not in Western Cape. That is very strange. Is that an error?
No, maybe they just have strength there.
They're only...
We saw their posters in the Northern Cape, remember?
They're only in the Northern Cape, people.
Just check quickly.
Oh, isn't it because that one dude is in Northern Cape?
Yeah.
As they're just in the Northern Cape provincially. So we'll get there eventually.
But I think they nationally, they are on all the ballots, aren't they? I'm not sure. I think they are. Hope for SA is on the national ballot. I don't know if they're on all the regional ballots.
Of course they're on the national ballot.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're on all the regional ballots.
So that's everything. That's NCC. A National Colour Congress we seek to unite all the historically oppressed people and those, so all the historically oppressed people, that's important to know.
And those that support the cause.
To recognize that the people commonly known as coloured or brown people are the descendants of the First Nations and have a historic claim to live and work peacefully in South Africa. And that's one thing our government's never done, is acknowledge the First People. So they have my sympathy for sure.
Absolutely.
The Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and Northern Cape were amongst other places the colonialist settlers originally encountered the First Nations and fully entitled to the protection and the rights as provided for by intent, purpose, and purport of the South African Constitution for redress without favor. So, I don't know. The only issue for me is that it's such a minority focus. But I mean, I have met with the leader, and I do feel like he is a voice for the voiceless and the voice for the vulnerable. And that holds certain weight. But it gets a dot because of the focus on a specific race group. I don't like that.
So, I mean, we are struggling here.
Not scratching him off. So that stays. What do you guys think so far? I shared the link to the policies. So you said
Hope for SA only in the Northern Cape?
Only in the Northern Cape. That's 100% accurate there.
Okay.
Okay. So Zania, we covered. What's next? Operation Dudula. Also no website. They're a really big ground movement. Also a female leader. Who claimed it?
AJ says Hope for SA is exclusive and they support the death penalty, so it's a no.
Okay, so you're the same as us then, AJ. Cool. Tell me something. Who said they're the only female party leader?
Yeah,
You
I
told
can't
me.
remember,
But
but that was sad. man.
Operation Dudula has a female president whom I met in Gauteng? Maybe. I can't remember where. But it's only focused. It was good. Patricia, that's funny.
No, there was someone else besides Patricia.
So it's
that said
Patricia, Sarah, Operation Dudula, me, Woman Forward, who is not contesting,
No.
A Gang, who I don't know if they
No,
exist,
no.
Judy Soul, whose party also isn't existing, but that's at least 7 female leaders that have existed or exist. Operation Dudula is an organization which turned into a political party in South Africa. The group is widely recognized as being xenophobic. So it's not just about strengthening the borders or returning illegal immigrants to their countries, xenophobic. And has been linked with violently threatening and targeting both legal and illegal migrants. So no, bye. Nope. That's their only issue. They have no other policies. You can't ask them.
You can run for whatever on a single issue.
Well, it's not an issue
like a referendum party. It's a single issue. You're absolutely allowed to do that. It makes democracy interesting. If there's a single thing that bothers you that much, you absolutely have the right to run on it. And we have a right to disagree with you.
Oh, shame. Paul, I'm not going to do anything to Irania. They can go do their thing. It's on private land.
Yeah.
What people aren't getting about the Penn interview is that Penn suggested how estate agents and ratepayers associations can block people of color from purchasing or renting a house. That's what I was referring to. And the fact that people want to live separately, I don't like that. It doesn't mean I'm going to take their freedom away.
People
Goodness
can do
gracious.
that. Liberty
Comprehension is sorely
is
lacking in society.
It is very lacking. But that is why we have to explain things to over and over and over. And often I think we make the mistake in not being detailed enough. So it is difficult to give all the details and all the circumstances. It's very tiring as well. So yes, people have a right to ask questions around things like that and for clarification. And this is a good opportunity.
But you can absolutely start a hippie commune in the middle of the Karoo and say only
on
females allowed or
yes.
only nudists allowed. I'm not going to stop you. I don't like it, but I'm not going to legislate what people do on private property. But
Urania is private property.
At the same time, Penn also included the issue, which I have known about for a long time, of white people stopping people of color from renting a house because they are racist. That I'm absolutely against. If you're okay with that, then you shouldn't be on this channel. Okay, next. National Colored Congress for me gets a dot, but still a consideration. So we only got a Zania and NCC at the moment. Oh goodness, why did I include this? Pan-African Congress of Azania, they are represented.
Yeah,
right?
PAC.
Yeah, PAC of Azania.
They got the second last seat.
Yeah, so just because I'm not going with anyone there, and I also think that probably...
They are racist.
I haven't experienced that with the representatives I've met at meetings.
Okay. I was in a meeting where I was called...
Oh, no, that one. I was with you, yes.
Yes, you were with me. I was called anything you can imagine. But remember, I did a video on that and said, if that's the worst that's going to happen, then I'm fine. We're going to be okay. Because the PAC is extreme in their leftist views. And I survived the meeting where there was a packed room with PAC supporters, and they vehemently attacked me for the fact that I was conscripted, forced to go and do military service. Not something I asked for. Yeah. And they said straight up that you killed other people, which I didn't do.
But as far as I understand, they were trying, for the origin, the founding of PAC was to further Robert Sobukwe's cause, which was, he would have been an amazing, in my opinion, president in terms of having a vision of a multiracial, as far as I understood it, South Africa, free from global control. Mandela was the leader chosen because he was willing to negotiate with terrorists.
Correct, yeah.
Robert Sobukwe different, and that's why he was locked up on Robben Island for so long without real cause, because he never committed any terroristic acts. As far as I
mean, the people that negotiated with Mandela for release was not the South African president. I can tell you that. MI6 was present, CIA was present, the Oppenheimers were present. It had nothing to do with the South African move. It was an international move, and it's put us where we are now.
Yeah. So they are definitely on the downward trend as well, in terms of if you look at their support over years.
In fact, you should mention the statement. Oh my word, Lauren, that's
which statement?
my pen.
I'm sorry.
The statement on secession. I think people need to hear that because oh my word, that is really.
I dropped my pen. I'll get it.
My pen.
What's yours is mine.
Yes.
We're married.
No, that was my birthday pen, so it's mine. I'm gonna move the whole laptop.
We have some interesting people in the comments.
Yeah, this is not just subscribers. This is open to the public. So that's why in the past I made it just for subscribers that have been there for up to 20 minutes.
Everyone's asking who to vote for provincially. So here we are.
Yeah.
So PAC has quite a lot of documents. They are represented. For that main reason, I, in principle, don't want to vote for someone represented. I think they also have strong communist leaning. So unfortunately, for that reason, it is a no for me. But you're welcome to go and have a look. Everyone's priorities are very, very different. Next up, I'm just going to give you PAC's manifesto out of intersec. Introduction, education, housing, land, rural development, healthcare.
They're communists. They're not socialists. They're communists openly.
Yeah.
Government must control everything.
Okay, so you can go Google it yourself.
Yeah.
No communisms.
No
communist manifestos. Yeah. So we're on Patriotic Alliance. I know what my answer is for that one already.
Death penalty. What? I will hang people in my spare time on weekends.
Yeah, I know. That eagerness scares me.
You know, when I show people on X a video of the Patriotic Alliance filling a stadium with 30,000 people, that doesn't mean that I support the Patriotic Alliance. I might support some things about the leader. I might like some things about his character. I might like how he says certain things and the tactics he uses, the intelligence which comes from prison life that he uses to manipulate, control, etc. I absolutely look at it with fascination because I can tell you now that, thanks Marlene, that Gayton McKenzie has learned from many people throughout his life and then applied those skills. And he's excellent at applying those skills. He's rough around the edges deliberately. It's not because that's how he is. It's because that's what he chooses to do. Gayton can live life in whichever way he wants. He's got plenty funds. He's pumped officially millions into the Patriotic Alliance himself.
Thanks, Marlene.
So the guy has money. He doesn't have to do what he's doing.
Okay, cool. So next is, so yes, his manifesto, nice, short and sweet, 1 page. I like that. I don't like lengthy manifestos, but some people do.
I can tell you he's getting many seats in Parliament, and even News 24 has refused to put his manifesto out.
Welcome to the club. Number 1. So I think a lot of conservative people will love PA. 1, putting God first. The PA believes that South Africa has lost its moral compass and wants to bring back God's importance in society to promote humility and service. The PA will reintroduce religious teachings in schools as we believe that it will help to create better citizens and a more resilient society.
A lot of people like that. Our country has 85% people that call themselves Christians in the census, okay? And he's playing to that. I don't think Gayton is a hectic Christian whatsoever. It's like Trump telling people what they want to hear. Basically.
Zero tolerance for illegal immigration. The PA will mass deport illegal foreigners, impose stricter immigration policies, and apply severe...
Well, our government's supposed to be doing that.
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you just enforce what's
and
currently
I have no
the
problem
law,
with our government doing it. That's what they're supposed to do.
Okay, but the PA is committed to building a wall, and I don't think our government's going to build a wall to protect its citizens against illegal foreigners. So that's going to cost a lot of money.
He said 1.3 trillion. He's worked it out.
So it's a year's worth of tax.
Basically.
Military service. The PA will introduce mandatory military or public service for unemployed youth to instill discipline and skills.
Yes, changed his mind on how he states that. I've listened to some of his speeches.
While also assisting in border security and deportation efforts. So I don't know about that one. You know, as a mom of boys, I want to say no. Ohm's suggestion to deal with bad parenting, to deal with underprivileged communities, is to give 3 months of basic training to matriculants in the last 3 months of school to equip them with the teamwork and overcoming difficulty and success mindset that they need to continue their lives.
But you as an individual have ideas.
Yeah, and that's actually
for the future.
What we've said in Ohm's education plan. That
no, I'm talking about getting people to, I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Which one?
Your own ideas.
Which one?
With regards to voluntary conscription.
Oh, yeah, that's my own idea.
Yeah.
I think that people can serve the government in many ways, like the military. In return, after a few years of service or whatever, it needs to be worked out and calculated. You can then get access to land or an apartment or something. So depending on your time and level and whatever, you can actually get tangible...
There's many services, the fire services, medical services.
Military being one.
Where the military is only one of them, where you can be trained to do many things without you being forced. But it gives you an opportunity to have access to land.
So PA gets a dot from me for military service. Because I'm not going to have my boys forced to go. If they want to...
What about the death penalty?
Well, that's coming. Return of the death penalty. The PA will bring back the death penalty for the most heinous crimes to demonstrate that the state is finally serious about combating lawlessness and enabling South Africans to live life. Yeah, there's other ways to achieve that.
But he also said that he thinks it's for the greater good if a few innocent people die in the process.
He did say that in an interview on TV somewhere.
That is very dangerous.
Yeah, so he does have greater good ideology in that sense, which makes me nervous.
Yeah.
A global awakening. Beneficent. It's true. I was actually speaking about that yesterday. We could stop all this now.
Yeah,
but we are not of one mind and unity here. Like, I mean, not just in the channel in South Africa. You need numbers.
Yeah, we're getting to RP.
Getting to them very quickly. So wait, still 5 and 6 for PA, but they already got 2 dots from me. Elevate rural and local leaders. The PA supports rural and community leaders, recognizing the key roles they play in rural areas. The PA also wants to elevate the roles of local leaders in urban areas, including partnering with churches and activists to foster social cohesion. I'd like to know more about how that's going to technically and practically look, because aspects of that sound nice, but aspects of that make me nervous too. Next is beneficiation. Goodness, I can't even pronounce that. The PA promotes industrialization and adding value to natural resources to create jobs and stimulate economic growth, focusing on building competitive industries and addressing infrastructure challenges. Okay, I suppose he means promoting industry.
Yes, correct.
Not industrialization.
Industry. No, yeah.
Okay, so they only got 2 dots next to their name. So they actually, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
So Azania has more dots next to the name only because they mentioned more issues.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't score them the same.
No, listen, Gayton speaks about all these things clearly. I mean, he wants to use the mines for us to get benefit from it. The fiscus literally getting benefit besides tax.
So Patriotic Alliance has an LGBTQAI plus segment. They also have a royal auxiliary and a woman auxiliary. And then what else? I don't know. That's about it. That's a manifesto. So then you have to go on him as
It's
the
a
leader.
nice picture of Gaten there on the website.
You know, he's a businessman, so I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to make
He's not
rash
dumb.
decisions to destroy this economy. So it's a consideration for sure. Next is People's Movement for Change. Got that up there. Also, I found a somewhat vague website, so it's very hard to make up your mind.
I remember them from Facebook a long time ago. Remember when OWN just started out and they started putting their feelers out.
I just want to talk about the founding of the party quickly. No, man. Wrong one. PMC party. Marius Fransman is the leader, and he came from
Marius Fransman, not Marman. That could get confused between the two.
He is a disgruntled former member of the Patriotic Alliance. Okay, so the People's Movement for Change is a South African political party formed in November 2023, round the corner. That was like just the other day, by Marius Fransman and disgruntled former members of the Patriotic Alliance. So they're still very new, so I guess they still need time to formulate what they believe in stuff, because that stuff does take a while. It says, join the movement, invest in a new South Africa. I like that wording. And then our plan for South Africa. And I like that he says plan. I love to hear about a plan. Simon Sinek, that famous motivational speaker, spoke in a TED talk where he said, people don't want to hear a plan. They want to hear about a dream. I don't want to hear about a dream because I'm so tired of political speak. I want to hear about a tangible plan. So he's against available. Family, community, and opportunity are like these pillars here.
You spoke to him, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
We actually plan on meeting up after the elections. Here we go. I know from personal conversation that he's against the globalist influence. So that's a win, although I don't think he's outright expressed it here on the website. Bellable ANC chaos, blah, blah, blah. That's just news. Where's policy? Where's planning? Where's that stuff? There isn't any. Okay.
Our plan for South Africa, yeah. They shouldn't have made that black.
Yeah,
they should have left it yellow. The yellow should have been there.
So
economic Codesa.
This is actually a little bit more detailed than some of the others. There's economic Codesa, indigenous people's rights, just energy transition, turning South Africa into a construction site, community access to the ocean economy, South Africa's relations with Africa and the rest of the world.
I want to read the rest of that. That
We'll go
could
through
be
all of it.
huge red flag.
Job creation and economic growth, housing, education, healthcare, integrating the informal economy into the mainstream economy. How? I mean, the way I see it, the informal economy should stay as wild and free as possible. Promote inclusivity and diversity, inclusive approach to agriculture. Okay. So what are you guys thinking so far with you can read that quickly in your head. What do you think so far with what's been mentioned?
Yeah, just energy transition here is very iffy because I don't like those words because that is words for Agenda 2030.
So that
Sustainable Development Goals.
People's Movement, where are we?
No, when anything to do with Agenda 2030 or 21 is mentioned, it's a no to me.
Yes, absolute no. It's not even
It's not even... Because they will implement everything those people are trying to do. They'll freaking lock you down and all sorts.
Mm-hmm. I would actually like to speak to him and ask him where you got that from.
Because that's wishy-washy political
Because
speak.
It could be, oh, this is what people are saying. Let me put it on my website to get support type thing. I want to know, has he got a funder or a NEC member?
I don't think they have big funding.
No, I don't think
that's
so either.
Clear.
Yeah. Okay, South Africa's relations with Africa and the rest of the world. Promoting a foreign policy that positions South Africa as a global advocate for the oppressed is crucial. By incorporating a commitment to siding with the oppressed worldwide, the nation can play a proactive role in addressing human rights concerns and fostering social justice on an international stage.
That speaks UN to me.
It does. Social justice is another key word. This approach aligns with the principles of international law and contributes to regional and global stability.
That's UN.
Simultaneously prioritizing national interests ensures a balanced and sustainable engagement that benefits both South Africa and the broader global community. This nuanced foreign policy approach reflects a commitment to justice, equality, and the well-being of all, reinforcing South Africa's standing as a responsible and compassionate global player.
No, that is such political speak for United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
So what we're seeing
Very
here, if
disappointing.
you look at housing, education, and healthcare, policies for universal healthcare coverage ensure accessible services without financial burden while empowering individuals through education. So you're looking at socialism.
Yeah, but none of that can tell you how it's done.
No.
None of it's telling you how it's done. It's just political
Additionally, advocating for affordable
Wasn't he in the
housing
ANC
options.
before he was in the PA?
I'm not sure.
For years.
Additionally, advocating for affordable housing options involving both government and the private sector ensures safe and stable living conditions. So what I figured out, and I used to speak to someone that is on the opposite side of the political spectrum to me, we used to discuss these things a lot. And we came to the conclusion we both want the same thing. We want people out of poverty. We want the education system improved. We want good living conditions for people. We want people to thrive in life. We want the same things. Our views on how to get there, complete opposites. And I feel like it's going to be the same here. For me, I'm seeing the legislation of people out of poverty instead of improving society. So I don't know. I wish I could actually have met with him before elections. Anyways, economic growth. To drive job creation and economic growth in South Africa, a strategic approach is vital. What does that even mean? Like, give me specifics. Emphasizing investments in key sectors like infrastructure, renewable energy, and technology, alongside targeted support for small businesses and entrepreneurship, will stimulate economic activity and generate employment.
Okay, there I'm posting the link for the regional list. You can go to elections.org.za. You'll find everything there.
So this one's too wishy-washy. It sounds there's too many United Nations keywords in there.
Hopefully one can convince these people otherwise.
But I've spoken to the leader.
Yeah.
And he does not, I didn't pick up anything.
Maybe someone else wrote this.
So I want to ask the person.
He must convince these people otherwise.
So that's just going to become a question mark until further clarification is given. What I see here, in my opinion, is let's use the best political keywords that seem to be popular.
That is what it looks like. Someone spent a lot of time.
But then I want to vote for someone that's just used the best keywords? No. So referendum party is next.
It's a single issue party. I actually signed for the referendum party to get on the ballot because I want this issue resolved. So they are advocating for Cape independence. They made a deal with the DA. They say the DA reneged on that they will hold a referendum to hear what the people have to say. I think it's the best way to put this thing to bed.
Paul says most of the manifestos are very Afrocentric. I didn't pick that up. In terms of almost a dictatorial system, kings rule all, leaders tell you what. I just saw that as communism, which is a Zionist project spanning a very long time that has infiltrated politics, including American politics. Leaders tell you what and how you'll live. All of them concur with you. And yes, so that is the but not Azania Peaceful Revolution does not concur with the UN.
No, they openly want to move away from the UN completely. What OM stands for is for no global organizations to have power over our country. Why would one want to remain within the United Nations?
Peacekeeping. You don't want to make enemies. That's the only thing I can think of. A lot of these parties are copy, edit, and paste. That's what it sounds like to me. What party is Ricardo Marmon? It is the Azania Peaceful Revolution.
It's funny he picked that name.
Maybe he also wants to change the name to Azania.
The country's name.
It's a pretty girl's name.
Azania.
Azania is lovely. Yeah. Next is referendum party. I don't even have to read it, but for you guys, I will.
Well, I can tell you now, it's a single issue party. So they're calling for if you vote for this party on the provincial ballot, they're on the national ballot too. I don't understand why. They should only be on the provincial ballot. What's going on here?
Where?
Why are they not only on the Western Cape provincial ballot? Why are they on the national ballot?
I have no idea. Our Cape, our future, our choice.
Because there's no ways that the country will give them a referendum on Cape exit. That's not going to happen. So they want to force the DA. They say they want 100,000 votes. Now, if they claim that the majority of people in the Western Cape wants Cape exit, then why are they only aiming for 100,000 votes? This doesn't make sense to me.
Whoa.
So I'm not going to vote for a single issue party.
I'm not going to vote for secession.
No.
Instead, I'll use this moment.
This is not for secession. You're not voting for secession.
For referendum.
Yeah, you're voting for a referendum. I'm not interested
secession.
in a single issue thing. Yeah.
No, me too.
But I hope they get their answer in the elections. And they will see that they don't have the support they think they have.
Nope.
In fact, Big Daddy Liberty has gone out and said, remember I told you 3 things would happen. The destruction of the Zulu royal house, the Zulu kingdom, destruction of Eskom, and the secession battle. So Big Daddy Liberty was in an interview with a dude I absolutely cannot stand. Some comedian that's trying to be a YouTuber with the weirdest accent. And saying that he supports Cape secession as well as KwaZulu-Natal secession. So now there's 2 on the cards. And I can tell you there's more on the cards for the Free State and many other places. We are just starting to see this. And you will soon start seeing the fight that China, Russia, and the US have for our country. And this is the first time I've mentioned this publicly. But this is already happening right now. The problem is this. That this is not about us at all. It's not about the people of South Africa. It's about foreign countries creating proxies within South Africa so that they can have a foothold in the southern tip of Africa strategically for war. We need to keep all those bastards out of here completely, because they do not have our best interests at heart. They want to use our sovereign soil for their military purposes.
So no, by scratch. We scratched it out. Fun. Anyway, so that leaves us with Sizwe Umar Nation, which is another religious-based party. I must just find it. Yeah. So frequently asked questions on their website. They say, why another Muslim political party? We believe that Islam has the solutions to all the problems of the world. We thus need a party that will promote and propagate the ideals of Islam to the people. Muslims are a minority in South Africa, so you'll never get a majority. South Africa is a constitutional democracy. You never need over 50% of the seats in parliament. You need over 50% of the seats in parliament to govern. If you don't get 50%, you form a coalition. We could be that party that may hold the balance of power. So that's interesting. If you are a Muslim person and you see them as a neutral person that can hold that balance.
I don't personally support anyone that is exclusive. No. I don't think necessarily they are exclusive, but they...
Okay, so their aims and objectives is to give practical expression to the religious system as a way of life. I don't know how you do that as a political party or as
I think
a legislator.
That's religion in politics. Which is the worst thing that anyone can do, in my opinion.
Sure. To advance the cause for free and quality education, quality and affordable healthcare, safety and security, employment opportunities, and housing for all South Africans. To campaign for world justice and peace and for the non-exploitation of the natural resources of the world.
I can tell you that what OM has done is taken values and principles that will align with Islam, Christianity, with many other religions, probably all religions around the world, to unite people around that. And that is the best solution, because it doesn't matter what religion you come from, you will benefit from it, even if you're not religious. you will benefit from those values and principles. And I think that is special and unique. It unites people from all different fronts and gets them to work together.
So there's no manifesto or policies or principles. What it seems like is just that they want Islamic principles in government, and they'll be that voice. So
to me, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, people in that are Jewish or following the Jewish traditions and religion, those communities are protective spaces for many people. It's protective spaces for many children, for many women, for many men, and it has value. And I know very specifically in the Muslim communities, they are very well organized in helping each other. So I understand that someone would come forward saying that Islam is the solution to all the problems in the world. I can understand the mentality, the same way that most laws in the world are based on Judeo-Christian religious values. Well, that's what people claim they are. And I understand that. We need to do something very different that is better, that unites everyone. And I believe OM has come up with values and principles that do that.
We have, so Watch Women P is asking how many parties are going to be on the ballot paper. On national, it's 52, right?
52 nationally.
52 nationally.
Regionally, it's different.
Regionally, different for each region, but I don't know where you are. It's 29 in the Western Cape for province.
Yeah, which province are you in?
It's 27 for the Eastern Cape, 27 for the Free State, 45 for Gauteng, 33 for KwaZulu-Natal, 34 for Limpopo, 27 for Mpumalanga.
Wow, beneficent anti-shoal.
28 for Northwest.
That is quite something. YouTube banned you. Someone must have reported the comment then.
24 for Northern Cape and 29 for Western Cape. So I'm not sure where you are. Regionally, it will be a bit different. Might be very different. Northwest, cool.
But will be on the national and regional.
OM's on the national and regional, but we're going through provinces now because no one knows who to vote for.
So Northwest province.
Northwest has 28 provincially. So we can, if we apply the same thingy, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 extra parties we'd have to discuss.
Go
in
through
Northwest, yeah.
in Northwest. This is going to take forever.
So we have one more party for the Western Cape
to go through. Okay.
And some of these parties
Listen, I think we're going to have to go day for day almost.
Some of these parties are on other provinces as well.
So we can go and scratch them off and then just do the rest.
Yeah,
do 2 provinces
this
per
is
day.
Just a start.
Hey?
This is just a start, I said. Umkhonto we sees where next. This exciting newbie to politics. Not newbie. MK Party Manifesto. So I'm sold. Stabilizing and expanding the grid. They're using the correct terminology. Thank you.
Yeah.
Extend the electrical grid to all corners of South Africa, ensuring enough capacity to power our industrial future from raw material processing to manufacturing. So here are people that are going to care about economic growth. Sustainable electricity. Continue to use and explore affordable and sustainable forms of electricity. I like this because I even think that in your house or in your complex or in your business, you should try to be energy independent.
Totally self-reliant.
But when it comes to
Which
industry
is going to be solar
and production, different story.
Very different story. If you can be energy independent, self-reliant, you should be. That is something we promote. And to do that, you can't just build a nuclear power station in your backyard or a coal-fired power station. So solar is probably the best option for most people. The national grid.
Education policy. Market-related skills approach adopts a skills-first approach that meets market demands, ensuring education aligns with the needs of our country. Enhanced skills transfer, enforced skills transfer based on shortages and imported skills, curbing abuses in higher education and promoting relevant training within our borders. National security, securing borders, strengthen border security and reduce corruption, ensuring South African laws are respected and prioritized over foreign interests. Yes, they got my vote of support there.
Yeah, it won't last long. Carry on.
Prioritized over foreign interests. What do you mean?
No. Carry on.
Oh, legal and structural reforms overhaul law enforcement agencies to improve efficiency and effectiveness in combating crime and corruption. Land redistribution, accelerating redistribution, fast-track land redistribution policies while maintaining food security and increasing food exports. So what they're saying is they're not going to threaten the agricultural sector.
Yeah.
Resource protection, prevent the exploitation of South African resources by foreign entities, ensuring wealth remains within the country. Love that.
Most people will love that.
Okay.
Carry on.
Healthcare policy, accessible and quality healthcare. Ensure healthcare facilities are accessible, well-staffed, and well-resourced, including alternative medicine options. Alternative medicine. Yeah. Infrastructure and staffing. Improve healthcare infrastructure and increase the number of healthcare professionals. Seems like an obvious one.
Yeah.
Okay, they're reading me over here. This is the first time I'm reading this, by the way. Economic policy. Job creation and economic growth. Aim to create 5 million jobs in 5 years. Okay, how? By focusing on sectors such as mining, agriculture, reindustrialization, tourism, and infrastructure developments.
So becoming industrialized again. This is not the fourth industrial
No.
revolution.
It's just actually having industry in the country.
Yeah.
Inclusive economic policies. Implement policies that clear growth impediments and maximize natural resource potential for the betterment of all South Africans.
Yeah, no one will disagree with that.
Yeah, but it's also very vague.
Yeah.
Traditional leadership policy, empowering traditional leaders. Strengthen the role and authority of traditional leaders in governance and community development, ensuring their participation in decision-making processes that affect their communities specifically.
Yes. There's a lot more than this. This is a short version.
The short version, okay, but you can tell me what you read. Foreign policy and regional integration, promoting regional stability and cooperation, advocate for policies that promote peace, stability, and economic integration within the SADC region and beyond. Easy to say. Implementing is another story. Assertive international presence. I like the usage of words there. Ensures South Africa's foreign policy reflects its national interests and values. Advocating for fairness and mutual respect in international relations. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
The manifesto outlines, outlines the MK's vision and priorities, reflecting our commitment to a just and prosperous future for South Africa.
So if you go and look at the manifesto, you see the nuts and bolts.
Okay. I'm going to share that with everyone quickly.
And this is where they actually want constitutional change, where they want to give real power to the traditional leaders as a level in government.
Hey, they want to what?
Formally in government.
Formally.
Yeah, what is written there, most people can agree with. Read the manifesto.
I shared it for everyone to read.
Yeah.
24 pages. That's not so bad.
Yeah. Now you'll see what they mean by what they say. And that tameness turns into
radicalness, or what?
Very radicalness.
Okay.
They believe in majority rule. In other words, if you 50 plus 1, the others must obey.
I don't believe in majority rule, sorry.
And many other things. Maybe they will change some of that. I don't know. I think they're in a state of flux at this stage, to the point where I don't even think the manifesto is set in stone.
It's new, actually.
Remember that first page that they put up on their website when they put the website up first? I mean, the bottom section was so dangerous. It's in a state of flux. I don't know who actually drew this up. So if you look there on land, we will expropriate all land without compensation, transferring ownership to the people under the custodianship of the state and traditional leaders. Establish guidelines for the state to lease land to citizens for various purposes and based on a comprehensive national development plan. You will have no title deed.
No, that's shocking. We emphasize, we want everyone, Om and me, wants every family to own property that is their own.
Equitably distribute farmland and divide it up on an equal basis among the farming population. I don't know how do you do things equitably? I have a huge problem with the equitable word, because at the moment, equitable means that TV time, the largest party gets most of the time, the rest gets nothing.
Love it. The Constitution of South Africa's state is colonial, founded on Roman Dutch law with very little influence from African jurisprudence.
I agree with that.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
African traditional leadership, so this is about province, okay? Do you want these voices in province? These people that we went through, all, I don't know, 8 of them, are not going to win the outright majority. It's about...
Whoa.
Oh, they could.
They can win the outright majority in KZN.
In KZN. Maybe not.
At the moment, they are polling. Okay, the one ENCA thing said 46% and then it was 44%. So I think they're very confused. And then they had the IFP at 14%. Now, how is this possible? Where does that put the DA and the ANC? I think there was something wrong with their reporting. Did any of you see that? That where they had MK, ENCA, a poll, a valid polling method in KwaZulu-Natal that MK at 46% of the vote. Overwhelming majority, with the IFP second on I think 14.6%. Where does it leave the DA and the ANC? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, I think I'm worried now. Encourage
You should be
in
worried,
healthcare. Encourage research-intensive foreign direct investment by offering incentives to attract multinational corporations and foreign entities
Can I
in
just
knowledge-intensive industries from support countries. Yeah.
Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
China is after the West Coast.
Yeah, you told me that.
The US is after the Cape. Russia is after KZN.
Okay, so they're just an agent for Russia.
If I just have to say it plain and simple.
Okay. So we've covered all the Western Cape, which will overlap with some other provinces' political parties. MK's manifesto does require a deeper dive, and I did share it.
Yeah, what they have on the website there, the front bit that you read, most people would agree with that.
The ratio of one police officer for every 242 citizens is alarmingly low.
It'll be like
China.
No, worse.
We want less police.
No, this is someone that wants full control over the people. Okay.
Scary. Okay. This
is like a lot of people will worship Putin.
Yeah.
But Putin will implement the 5th generation technology to monitor, track, and trace people faster than you can say knife, because he wants to control everything. Same scenario. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so...
This was not written by Jacob Zuma, I can guarantee you that.
And they want the death penalty. Bye.
No, a referendum on that.
A referendum.
On the
Bye. I want to be nowhere near such a thing.
Yeah. So what do you have left now? We need to finish up. Goodness,
that's me. Some of you might have a much longer list. I've got a Zania Peaceful Revolution. National Colored Congress... Except for the minority thing. No, that's what I've left. Patriotic Alliance had lots of questions and death penalty. So you did say death penalty, right? So I'm just crossing him off.
Not just that, he said he'll volunteer on weekends to hang people himself.
And then you got People's Movement for Change, which is trying to sound like workish. Okay. I've got 3.
And even that is problematic.
I wish they would all merge, those 3, because... they would balance each other out in the things I don't like.
But that's not going to happen. People have said you must also merge.
I know, it's horrible when people say that. But I understand the sentiment.
So don't say that.
Okay, so that's I've got 3. What's your score? Let me know. We really sped through this because this is only one province. And there are 8 more to go, which we are not going to do now. But let me know what your score is. How many parties have you got left? Because we're obviously not voting for Oppenheimer-funded parties. And parties that are on the losing streak.
Yeah, but besides the Oppenheimers, just remember, Even although Oppenheimer funding is backed by the committee, all the actions around secession in South Africa is backed by the committee too. It doesn't matter if it's for China, Russia, or the US.
We know the three that I have left, I know they don't get big funding.
No. There's no independence in the Western Cape. None. Zaki Ahmad just
not
like
provincially.
national?
You must be regionally.
Yeah, regional.
National.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I don't even know what he stands for.
Tell me, peoples, what's your score? How many have you got left after I sped through that all?
Yeah.
What we see overall is political speak. We see, like someone said, copy-paste stuff.
Do you feel better about OM's manifesto now?
Oh, my goodness. Amazing. If I dare say so myself. Because I have stayed within the realms of practicality. Who funds the UIM, someone asks. I don't know, actually.
I think the UIM gets funded from the ground, mainly. I know Neil de Beer is very open. And he's gutful. You know, he as a person has been through a lot. You know, and I climbed into Neil de Beer when he said, I'm next president. Now he says, I'm going to be a party that'll hold other parties accountable. That's a big departure from where he started. I have a lot of very long voice messages.
Oh, I was thinking of
Lauren
the
and
UDM.
No, UIM.
So confused.
That both Lauren and I have listened to, where he explained how the UIM came about with Michael Louis and other people that met in Fishhook. I can carry on and on and on. And, you know, he's a chameleon because he's changed what he has done so many times. And that's why so many people hate him. And so many people love him. Those that love him haven't heard the voice notes of the things that he said about all the different races in the country at some point in time, where he stripped his moor at them. And the last interview I saw of him, I saw some humility and realizing that this is not easy, that politics is difficult. And maybe you will see a more stabilized person that can actually show some benefit. The only problem is he believes more police, more surveillance, more monitoring, tracking, and tracing. He's not speaking out against the World Economic Forum. He says, I'm talking absolute nonsense about a global agenda against the people of South Africa, that I'm talking KAK. Those were the words that he used. So, yeah. You know, when people stand up and they put themselves forward, run campaigns like this, and they don't need to do it because they've got enough money, I have to take my hat off to that. It doesn't mean I agree with him. And he's made some brutal mistakes along the way. And the beauty of OM's plan is it's not a non-changing plan. It'll remain the same. People implement the plan, they will see the successes in their own lives immediately. It doesn't have to be political successes because it's about you and your progress. So I absolutely love that about the OM plan. And I even love more the fact that my lovely wife, came up with that plan. It's absolute brilliance.
So if we go to the Northern Cape, which is the smallest, there's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new parties to explore.
Okay.
And then there's another 1, 2, 3, another 4 after that. Then you'll cover Northwest.
Could we do this in another 2 live streams?
Goodness gracious!
Because you can cut all the others out in the other provinces and see what's left.
If I do Gauteng next, it'll cover the other provinces quite well.
Yes, you're right. So we should do Gauteng tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not tonight. Yes, Don. MK at 46 in KZN. I don't know how accurate that poll is, but that is massive. What do you think about the fact that they say that the IFP is at 14.6, which is more or less where they should be? But where's the ANC and the DA? I don't understand.
There is. Let me do one because I know this is
Amiga coming soon, Marlene. June. And then the next.
There's no risk.
Lauren's hyperventilating.
I need a holiday. June is my boy's birthday. My oldest son's birthday. I will have, because I don't only celebrate his birthday, I celebrate motherhood.
Yes.
I will be a mommy for 15 years on the 5th of June. It's amazing.
I'll never forget that day where Lauren was mixing a very well-known band that played for Emma Adams, Take Note, in the Joseph Stone Auditorium.
Correct.
She had done the whole mix and setup, got everything ready, and we actually left after the sound check and went to a hardware store to get duct tape.
Yes, and the lady made me laugh.
Yes.
The shop assistant, the shop teller, and then my water broke.
So I had to, in a spur of the moment, phone a good friend of ours and ask him to go and mix, because I had to rush Lauren to the hospital. I'll never forget that. And he did an excellent job. He went and mixed the show. He was a sound legend, so there were no issues there. But Lauren was a brilliant sound engineer and lighting technician.
Yeah, no,
May
I
just say
actually
so? When this band heard her for the first time, where was it, in Caledon?
No, well, what happened is that there were two bands, one after the other. Both had completely different drum setups, completely different. So I had to take the snake and repatch it within like 5 minutes.
It was at the Oktoberfeest, and there was a massive crowd of
and
people.
I did it. And then they were like, "You're hired."
They were so impressed with Lauren, my word.
So Paul is saying on my list that I would think of voting for is Ohm, but we're not on provincial. This is why we're doing this exercise.
Yeah, Ohm is on national and regional.
Yes, AJ, Geminis. My oldest and me get along so well because we're ideas people and we think fast and we're also adventurers.
He's also brilliant.
He's more brilliant than me.
Very high IQ.
And he people reads so well. It's amazing.
But his IQ is the same as ours, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy. Okay, you're looking forward to the Gauteng list.
We'll do that tomorrow night.
I think if we do Gauteng, we should cover a bulk of them.
And
then we'll just have some fringies.
After that, we see what's left in the other provinces. Okay.
Oh, cool. Marlene says our musician friend is playing with Emma Adams.
Emma Adams, yeah. So what happened after that event, then you mixed them in Caledon. It was just them. And they didn't even know that we were going to do the sound, remember? We were asked to do that on the way to KAKA. And that night, when you mixed them, the band leader came to you and said, "Can you do all our shows?" So after that, we literally did all the Emma Adams shows, the sound, lighting, etc., and Lauren mixed them.
I did indeed.
They wanted her.
Yes.
She just had a magic ear, and if a musician was full of nonsense, she'll make as if she's touching the controls.
There was this one show where this woman asked for an obscene amount of effects. I just could not do it. But I did. But I did in the end. But like, wow, against every sound engineering principle.
Yeah, it's like what you hear is fake, people. It's not real. If you only knew what these people would sound like. We can tell you which artists can actually sing really well. Yeah, the techies know.
Anyway, all Citizens Movement for Change, All Citizens Party. I'm very confused. All Citizens Party.
Yeah, that's them.
Go away. I have to open up in another tab.
Oh, goodness. But thanks for staying with us. There were many people that joined in. More of you could maybe like this video so more people can watch it. And horoscopes. How about horoscopes? I don't follow things like that. The one thing I do know is that people born at a certain time have certain similarities. I don't tie that to horoscopes at all. I'm not interested in something else telling me what's going to happen in my future. I determine my future.
Yes, All Citizens Party, another female party leader. Actually, I've seen her adverts all over the place. But she also doesn't have a website.
These people must be strong on the ground because even their social media followings are almost negligent. So they must get 300,000 Rand from, oh, this is provincial. How much did they have to pay? 25.
I have no idea.
So if they're not on national, they paid very little.
So we'll cover them tomorrow.
Yeah.
I need to do some digging for her because I can't find anything. Even
But you
their
must
wiki is
scratch all
tiny.
of these off on the others and then we go
I
through
know
the
this
rest.
is so fun. This is what I feel like is my life purpose. I figured it out once. I can't remember what I was watching. It was something about ikigai, and I
What take is that?
realized it's a Japanese philosophy
Okay.
of creating
I've heard of it.
creating a sense of contentment and joyful life through combining what you're good at, what you love, and how you earn money into one.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is creating order out of chaos. And this for me is creating order out of chaos. So I can stay awake all night doing this. I love it.
Well, carry on then. Let's see who hangs in there.
Shame,
And people can
no.
just come back and watch. I need a toilet break and other things in between, but you can go.
I think everyone's gonna like drop out and pass
Yeah,
out.
but then you might have no one. People can still come and watch the recording.
No one's gonna start a video that says 3 hours long.
Well, it's already almost 2 hours long.
Oh my goodness.
You've done this to everyone.
I have.
Goodness.
I've tortured everybody. How
Yeah.
bored to death is everyone?
What did you think of the format for those of you that watched the presentation on X with regards to the power grid and whatnot? Did you find it valuable? Should I take part in more things like that? I mean, they have 447,000 followers on Twitter, Moya, and yeah, you know, to get the type of people that they did in that space is quite something. I only noticed the invite after it's been going for like half an hour, so I came in late. Yeah, we need to sleep. You enjoyed the discussion. Yeah, Jacob Moroga was one of the unfortunate people that came in just after the big mess. And I told Tulani Kabashe at the time, dude, get out, because these were good people. And they weren't going to let this new mentality and climate narrative drive what they do. So he resigned. Jacob Moroga was there for 2 years. Then he left. He refused to appoint an Oppenheimer stooge to or allow for Oppenheimer, a Rothschild stooge, to be appointed to the Eskom board. So once you know what's happening behind the scenes, what the media don't tell you, you will see really what's happening in politics. That's why OMA exists. A lot of things are difficult to talk about in detail. The home plan takes care of all that nonsense.
The choice for Gauteng is going to be difficult, especially when wanting something gone. Thanks for answers. Yeah, Gauteng is going to be interesting indeed. There's a lot there, and at least we'll cover some independence.
Yeah, but tomorrow night, I think
tomorrow
we'll
we'll include. So it's just a sneak peek. There's forum for service delivery.
Yeah, there's 111 people now.
Who I have met. There's Hope for SA, which everyone is asking
but
about.
For service delivery, haven't they gone boss with
electronic voting? Is there a thing?
I think electronic voting can help to do things on issues or like on an app. If government wants to know how people feel on certain things, that's got nothing to do with elections. I see no reason why you can't use an app to get people's ideas on certain things. Not a referendum, just generally speaking. Instead of public participation meetings that are drawn out and annoying and whatnot. Why can't there be an app that speaks about the issues and you have your say? That's what Rob Hutchinson wanted to do.
Dear South
Africa. He went to government, proposed this. It's a brilliant idea. And they didn't entertain it for a while. And then, something happened. So he's doing that on his own still and sending through and making people aware of all the horribles coming your way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to carry on, or are we going to go sleep?
Let's go sleep.
I actually have to
work tomorrow.
Well, we always work, but I mean, I actually have to see to some teams. We need Quebec Unit 2 up and running. People will be getting ready for startup.
Let's go.
They're already talking about fuel loading, so that's awesome.
Okay.
Okay,
bye,
thanks
everybody.
for joining us, and do go and watch the whole live stream if you have time. Please like the live stream so more people can watch it, and go and watch our past live streams. The last one to me was super important. Not a lot of people have watched that one. The media, the influence of the media. We discussed many other things that are super important. So go and watch that one if you have not yet. Good night, everyone. Anything else? Last thing you want to say?
It's just I understand why people vote for the top 3 parties now.
It's too much effort.
No.
Oh.
What's on offer?
Okay.
When Ohm's not there.
When Ohm's not there. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. So go and look at their manifestos. The EFF has a 250-page manifesto.
No. Well, we decided we're not going to go for those.
Yeah, you made it short. Wasn't it 20-something pages?
It was 24 pages. I turned it into 10.
There's a professor the other day that said on Biz News that it's the shortest manifesto they've ever seen is MK, which is 23 pages. Ohm's was 24, and then you said, no, this is way too long, and you shortened it to what? How long is it?
10.
To 10 pages. So, yeah, then I thought, okay.
I personally despise legal speak. I want my kids to be able to understand what I wrote.
Okay, people, good night. Thanks for joining us and hanging in there with us. See you tomorrow night.
Magnificent. I was wondering, what on earth? Good night, everyone.
Good night.